No, it was a good school report, to be honest. Next thing, she looks at it and she says, no, it's off some girl he's friendly with. I said, well, very good. She said, well, it's not very good. I said, what do you mean, not very good? She said, well, it's time, innit? I said, time for what? She said, it's time for the conversation. I said, what conversation? She said, the conversation. It's time that you and him sat down and had the conversation. I said, what conversation? She said, the conversation. It's time you had the conversation with him. I said, I'm struggling with this conversation. I said, what are you talking about? She said, the conversation. The conversation, the father-son conversation, the kind of conversation that your dad must have had with you. I said, what? I said, you've seen my dad? He's got tattoos of swallows on the back of his hands. How many conversations do you think we've ever had? If it doesn't involve what's the score, I don't think we spoke for 7 years. I come down the following morning, his brothers are in the kitchen giggling because they know what's going on. I walk in, he's sat in the living room, sat on the couch. I have to walk in. And I know at this point that this is an important conversation. This is a pivotal conversation. This is a moment where I'm going to educate him about things like love and sex and life and relationships. I know that. But I'm not equipped for it. So I walk in, I sat next to him on the couch. I just give him a dead arm. I don't know why I did that. I just thought it would break the ice a little bit. I looked at him, he looked at me, and said, listen, son, this isn't my idea. Well, I was with your mum last night, and you know what she's like a mate cat. Oh, and she goes, she gets your phone. I said, oh, don't, she said, I want to look. I said, don't look. I said, I want to look. He said, Dad, is this about sex? And then I went red. I thought, what am I supposed to say to him? Because now this generation don't use words to explain everything. Everything's visual, everything's on YouTube, everything's on the internet. I thought the best way I can explain sex to him now is in a visual way. And the best way I can do that is by sticking a porno on. I didn't, because I realised at the end I would have had to say, to be honest with you, son, they're not normally that enthusiastic. And I've got to be honest with you, it's very rare they bring a mate. And I also didn't want him growing up thinking you get a plumber around every 20 minutes. But it's a difficult thing, and also, as I say, with me, I've been married now forever. I've been married now 16 years on and off, and I say that because I think we've all reached that point, haven't we? I've emigrated from Liverpool now. I live in Manchester, and I lived there because I met a girl there. Met a girl in college. I fell in love. We got married, we had 3 kids, and then we reached that point, you know, when you've been married for 7 or 8 years, where you both wake up one morning and look at each other and think, wouldn't it be better if you just piss off and live somewhere else? And it just hits you, doesn't it? And you do your best, you get through it. I think you can probably measure a relationship by the way you give each other presents. I remember when I was first married to my wife, the first Christmases, I used to love Christmas then. It was special Christmas then. What I used to do every Christmas then is I used to get her a special present, one special present, and I'd hide that. And then I used to get little presents, and I'd hide the little presents around the house, and they were all little clues as to where the special present was. And then I used to get a CD, and on the CD I used to put all the songs that she'd listened to throughout the year. And I'd play the CD while she looked for all the presents. And every time she found a little present, she'd look at me and her little nose would wrinkle up like that. And she had little dimples and she'd go, ooh, and I'd go, ooh. But you know, after 16 years, the way they bleed and breathe, it's just constant, isn't it? You know what I Every day, in and out, in and out. And it's hard when you're getting older as well. It's hard when you're getting older. I'm over 40 now, and that's a difficult time for any man. It's a difficult time for any man, because it's like God's having a laugh with you when you get over 40. The first pubic hair, the first grey pubic hair. Oh, that's a shock. That is a shock. That really, really tells you how old you've become when you look down and see your first grey pubic hair. That was a real shock to the system. I had to say to me missus, listen, love, you're going to have to tidy that up. I'm doing my best here, for Christ's sake. I'm dressed as a fireman. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been John Bracey. You've been wonderful. Thank you. Good night. God bless.